Hey, Self-Care is Healthcare community. I just realized how close our 30-day self-care challenge is at the moment. We are just a few days away. We start October 1st. So I wanted to take a moment to walk you through how to prepare for this challenge. Because if you've never done this before, or even if you have, sometimes we just need a refresher. So what is the challenge? Basically, what the challenge is for 30 days, you commit to spending 15 minutes a day on self-care. Task of your choosing. It could be journaling, meditating, spending time in nature, exercising, laying on your back in silence in a dark room, whatever it is that you need right now that will help to refuel you and soothe your soul. 15 minutes a day, that's all, right? That's all. Sounds simple, not always. So it's important to prepare when we're taking on an activity like this. So step one is just preparing mentally, right? Making the commitment, committing to spending time on yourself for those 30 days, committing to showing up for yourself. Now, 15 minutes a day, it sounds simple. It sounds like not a whole lot of time, right? But if we don't schedule this consciously, that 15 minutes, we can get to the end of the day and all of the 15-minute slots are gone. So an important part of this in the mentality piece is scheduling it ahead of time. I know that's been a crucial piece for me, and I love to use, I have a, what do you call this? Planner, agenda, calendar book that I use to plan my weeks. And when I write things down in here at the end of the day, I look back on it and I love that little endorphin rush you get of checking things off a list. That's why I write stuff down in here. So I get to finish my day with that. So I schedule my self-care. When I know that I need to get self-care in, I make sure that it ends up on my list here somewhere. So I don't know if you can see, but the planner that I have, it has my day listed out so I can schedule any appointments that I have. Work obviously is a thing. And then I have up here spaces to write my 3 to-dos. Okay, so when I have self-care planned, I make sure that that self-care is in one of my top 3 task slots here, okay? Because that makes it a priority. And then if I have a specific idea of what I want to do, like here I believe I wrote nature time, so I went for a walk outside today. And that was my self-care. But for example, say I wanted to read for 15 minutes or color in a coloring book for 15 minutes or do a body scan meditation or do a 20-minute yoga practice. I could write down those specifics down in this space. So I'm setting myself up for success in the moment, in the middle of a busy schedule. I don't have to stop and try to think about it. I already have it written down. So set yourself up for success. You can use a planner like this. You can put it in the calendar in your phone. I love to set reminders in my phone or even alarms that go off to get my attention, to pull me out of my daily routine and remind me to take care of myself. So that's step one. Prep mentally, schedule it, put those reminders in, set yourself up for success. Step number 2, you need your supplies, right? Whatever that means for you, whatever your normal self-care supplies may be. For me, it would be making sure my journal and pen are within access, making sure my yoga mat isn't shoved away in a closet somewhere. Those go-to tasks that I have or go-to items that I have that I use in self-care, I'm gonna make sure those are readily available so I don't have to be scrambling to find them at the last minute. Step number 3, and maybe this has to come before step number 2 for you if you don't already have a self-care routine, but choose your activities. And when you're choosing your activities, I encourage you to think about what your goal is. Why are you participating in this challenge? What are you looking to get out of it? Maybe it's stress management. Maybe it's improving your self-talk. Maybe it's improving your mental health, right? What is your why? What are you looking to get out of it? And what activities are going to support you in doing that? Now, if you're sitting on the other side of this video and going, I have no freaking clue, I got you. I've put together a self-assessment, a self-care self-assessment, it works, where you can rate yourself on each section of self-care. different types of self-care. You can rate yourself so you can see which areas are strengths for you, which areas maybe need a little bit of work. And then I also have a self-care info sheet that talks about each different type of self-care and offers examples of self-care activities that could fall within that category. So between those two, you can really set yourself up with some ideas, new, maybe old ones, maybe past ones, but I got you covered. So choosing your activities. And when you're doing this too, remember that less is more. When you start a challenge like this, it's so common to want to do all of the things all at once. Start with just one, okay? Pick one thing for 15 minutes a day and give that a chance and see how it goes. Remember, you can always build on it in the future. You can do many more 30-day self-care challenges, I promise. Step number 4 is setting your intentions. So with this, setting an intention, write it down. Write down your why. Why are you doing this? What is the underlying motivation? And write it down on a piece of paper. Put it somewhere where you can see it every single day. Maybe on your fridge, maybe on your bedside table, maybe on the counter, but somewhere that it's going to catch your attention. Maybe move it around periodically so it doesn't just blend in with the wall. And make it be a promise to yourself, right? We make promises to everyone around us. How often do we promise ourselves something? And how might that feel different? And last but not least, make sure that you join our community. You can do that by hitting subscribe, following along on YouTube. You can do that on Facebook. We have a private Facebook group going, and in which I will be posting tips and videos throughout the challenge to help things along, and that can be foster a private discussion of, helping each other out, offering support, overcoming challenges. That is Self-Care is Healthcare on Facebook. You can click join and we'll be ready to go on October 1st. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for you tonight, but I hope you are ready for an October full of self-care to refresh ourselves and get back to living a life that we love. And make sure that you hit subscribe, follow along, and click the link below to sign up, and we'll be ready to go. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking, any questions you have, and I can't wait to see you soon.